all stock facial interfaces for Quest devices, they all suck. In fact, it's the second upgrade I would do for all Quest owners. The first one would be a ratcheting mechanism style head strap, preferably with battery, but you don't have to have that. The second thing I would do would probably either be prescription lenses or a new facial interface. After that, I think you're talking grips. So my Quest 3 has an aftermarket facial interface. It's made out of PU leather, and first I really thought it was great. Matter of fact, I had it for probably almost a year, and I've been using it ever since. But it's broken down a little bit. The PU leather isn't as cushy as it once was. So I reached out to Oblik. Oblik, they make custom facial interfaces for the Quest 3. The way they do it is they have an app and you use an iPhone to scan your face. It finds all the little nooks and crannies, and they ask you a bunch of questions about how you're going to use the facial interface, whether or not you have prescription lens inserts and things like that. And then they make you a fully custom facial interface for you. Now, it's not so specific no one else could use your headset. As a matter of fact, I used someone else's and thought it was really great. It fit pretty darn good for me. It was almost perfect. So that's why I reached out to Oblik. In the box, you get some paper for cushiness. You get the facial interface itself. Some instructions. We all know those are important. Yeah, and a packing slip. All right. The facial interface itself is 3D printed. And I know what you're thinking, but this is really good quality 3D printing. I mean, if you didn't see the little tiny ridges in there that comes from a 3D print, you wouldn't know. The gasket piece is made out of silicone, and it's really squishy. It feels like it's going to be good. On the underside, you realize that it's actually, let's show it there maybe, it's made out of honeycomb material. So it's going to stay really squishy. When I put it on my face, wow, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I've got just a little room around my schnoz. It's not touching. I mean, just maybe barely. I'll get it on the head strap or the headset here in a second. But the print job is great. You really wouldn't know it's 3D printed. And then the gasket itself pushes through. There's kind of little rivets on there. So the whole thing, because you're looking at silicone and plastic, is cleanable. You can wash it, get it nice and clean, and keep it from getting too gross. The reason for all this is my facial interface, like I mentioned, has broken down a little bit. It's real thin across here. And part of that is because I use an Elite strap, which just uses pressure front and back to kind of squish it onto your face and make it super stable. Elite straps are way more stable than the standard Halo straps that you see everyone using, and I really love that stability. But that pressure has broken this down over time. So it's as easy as taking off your old one, which feels a little freaky sometimes. The stock facial interface feels like you're going to break it every time you take it on and off. But all you got to do is take the old one off, put the new one in place, make sure it lines up everywhere, and you should hear kind of a snap. Probably not going to pick that up on microphone. But yeah, it snaps in place. So that is in. We'll give it a test fit. Wow. That's awesome. That is so secure. And to be totally honest, my old facial interface had a nose piece, we'll try to get it on camera, that kind of had this rubbery thing with a split in it for your schnoz to go in there. It was good, it felt okay, but this kind of touching your nose bothered me a little sometimes. It wasn't the end of the world. I'm seeing less light bleed from this, and we'll get it on flashlight and get it all checked. But for now, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some gaming. So I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Tested out the Obilk Custom Facial Interface in Dungeons of Eternity, did some real VR fishing, a bunch of other stuff. This is amazing. This is such a good facial interface. I know it's 3D printed. It doesn't seem like it in any way. And that face gasket, that cushy, rubbery feeling face gasket feels so good on your face. I'm going to do a little light test real fast. And I'm just going to see if I can see. There's no light. If you don't like light bleed, this is for you. The only place there is the slightest gap right under my schnoz. But seriously, in game, you don't notice it in any way because they use an app to scan your face and put all those ridges and valleys into the facial interface. So, I mean, it's not that detailed, but the size and shape and then your nose piece is almost perfect to your face. It leaves no light bleed around the sides. There is ventilation in there, but they must have angled it in ways that doesn't allow the light to bleed. You just put a 90-degree curve in a few spots and you can get air flowing in, but the light doesn't go through. I don't know. It's just cool. So who should be buying this? First, I'll tell you the price. The base price is $89. And I know that's a little bit of a tough pill to swallow. For all of you, I'll leave a code in the pinned comment and description. You'll get 10 bucks off that price. So now you're looking at 79 bucks. Again, not cheap, but if you really want the best, the Obilk Custom Fit Facial Interface is the way to go. I can't imagine a better option. They have tons of different options for Quest 2, Quest 3, Quest 3S. There's a really good chance that that 3S is going to have an Obilk facial interface on it soon. Again, this is for people, if you're a casual person that just puts on your headset once every 2 weeks and doesn't do anything real physical, just sitting in a chair doing some real VR fishing or something like that, there are probably cheaper options that will make you happy. But if you're someone that spends a lot of time in your VR headset, there is no better option available. The Obilk Custom Facial Interface is absolutely the way to go. You guys let me know if you have any questions in the comments and I'll try to answer those for you. Check out some cool people I met in VR this week, and that's what's happening. See ya.
Subscribe. It's faster.